China's culinary landscape is deeply intertwined with pork. It is a staple in many dishes and widely available across the country. For millions of Muslims living in China, this presents a unique challenge. Their faith prohibits the consumption of pork. This essay explores the experiences of Uyghurs and Hui Muslims, and how they maintain their practices amidst these challenges, highlighting their resilience and the ways they strive to preserve their cultural and religious identities. The Uyghurs of Xinjiang are facing a crisis of cultural survival. The Chinese government has implemented policies aimed at suppressing Uyghur identity and assimilating them into the dominant Han Chinese culture. One of the most striking aspects is the systematic renaming of Uyghur villages. Traditional names rooted in Uyghur history have been replaced with generic Han Chinese names. This act of linguistic erasure severs the Uyghurs' connection to their past and their land. Imagine villages called Altin being renamed Xingxin or Beshbalik to Heping. This renaming is part of a broader effort to erase Uyghur identity. The impact on Uyghur communities is profound, creating a sense of disorientation and loss. It erases their history and heritage from the physical landscape. For Uyghurs returning after detention, the experience is even more jarring. They often find themselves in villages they no longer recognize. The renaming of villages is just one facet of the Chinese government's approach to suppressing Uyghur identity. This campaign extends to all aspects of Uyghur life, from language and religion to dress and customs. The aim is clear: to assimilate the Uyghurs into the dominant Han Chinese culture, even if it means dismantling their cultural fabric piece by piece. The Chinese government's campaign of forced assimilation goes far beyond renaming villages. It permeates every aspect of Uyghur life, including their religious practices and dietary choices. Muslims are forbidden from consuming pork according to Islamic law. However, there have been numerous reports of Uyghurs being forced to consume pork in detention centers and re-education camps. This act is not only a violation of their religious freedom but also a deeply humiliating and traumatic experience. Forcing someone to consume something forbidden by their faith is a form of cultural and psychological violence, designed to break their spirit and force them to conform. Beyond the camps, the Chinese government has implemented policies aimed at suppressing all expressions of Uyghur identity. This includes restrictions on speaking the Uyghur language, practicing Islam, and wearing traditional clothing. Uyghur families are often forced to host Han Chinese officials in their homes, a practice known as becoming family. This intrusive program aims to monitor and control their behavior while promoting interethnic harmony on the government's terms. The systematic suppression of Uyghur culture, combined with the mass detention and forced assimilation, has created a climate of fear and despair in Xinjiang. The international community has condemned these actions as crimes against humanity, urging the Chinese government to end its repression of the Uyghur people. The Hui Muslims, dispersed throughout China, have a long history of coexistence with the Han majority. They face restrictions on religious practices but have developed unique strategies for maintaining their cultural identity. Establishing thriving halal food businesses is one key way they preserve their identity. These businesses serve as vital community hubs, fostering social connections. Over time, this has fostered understanding and acceptance from many in the Han majority. The Hui story is one of adaptation, resilience, and cultural preservation. The prevalence of pork in Chinese cuisine poses a constant challenge for Muslims adhering to halal dietary laws. However, the Hui Muslims have responded to this challenge with remarkable entrepreneurial spirit, establishing a thriving halal food industry that caters to their specific needs. This industry is not merely about economic opportunity, it represents a vital lifeline for preserving their cultural and religious traditions in a society where pork consumption is deeply ingrained. Halal butcher shops are a common sight in Hui neighborhoods, ensuring a steady supply of meat slaughtered and prepared according to Islamic guidelines. These shops often serve as gathering places, fostering a sense of community and shared identity. Beyond individual businesses, the Hui have developed complex supply chains for halal ingredients, sourcing products from other parts of China and even internationally. The growth of the halal food industry has had a significant impact on Hui communities. It provides employment opportunities, strengthens their economic independence, and ensures that future generations can continue to observe their dietary laws without compromising their faith. This entrepreneurial success is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the Hui, demonstrating their ability to thrive while preserving their cultural and religious identity in a rapidly changing society. Celebrating faith, maintaining religious practices. Despite the challenges they face, Muslims in China strive to maintain their religious practices. For the Hui, this often involves navigating a complex web of official restrictions and informal arrangements. While mosques are officially sanctioned places of worship, there are limitations on religious education and the construction of new mosques, particularly in areas with smaller Muslim populations. Despite these restrictions, the Hui have found ways to transmit their faith and traditions across generations. Many families hold informal religious classes in their homes, teaching children about Islamic values, history, and practices. During Ramadan, the holy month of fasting, Hui communities come alive with shared meals known as iftars, strengthening social bonds and reaffirming their commitment to their faith. The celebration of Eid al-Fitr, marking the end of Ramadan, is another important aspect of Hui religious life, with families visiting each other, exchanging gifts, and expressing gratitude for their blessings. The perseverance of these religious practices, despite the challenges, underscores the deep-rooted faith of the Hui people. They view their faith as an integral part of their identity, and they continue to find ways to practice and transmit it to future generations. Community support. Finding strength in shared identity. The experience of being a minority in a predominantly non-Muslim country has fostered a strong sense of community among Hui Muslims. This shared identity provides a vital source of support, helping them navigate the challenges of maintaining their cultural and religious practices while fostering a sense of belonging. Hui neighborhoods are often characterized by a strong sense of solidarity. Neighbors look out for one another, offer assistance when needed, and celebrate religious and cultural events together. This close-knit community structure provides a safety net, particularly for those new to a city or facing difficult circumstances. The mosques, in addition to their religious function, serve as important community centers. They host social gatherings, provide educational opportunities, and offer a space for Muslims to connect and support one another. This sense of community is particularly important for Hui children growing up in a society where they may be exposed to different values and lifestyles. It provides a sense of grounding, reinforcing their cultural identity, and offering a space where they can freely express their faith and traditions. The strong social fabric of Hui communities is a testament to the enduring power of shared identity in the face of adversity. It highlights the importance of social cohesion in preserving cultural and religious practices for generations to come. A call for awareness. Understanding the plight of the Uyghurs. While the Hui Muslims have developed remarkable strategies for maintaining their cultural and religious identity within China, the situation for Uyghurs in Xinjiang is dire. The Chinese government's systematic campaign of cultural erasure, mass detention, and human rights abuses demands urgent international attention and action. It is crucial to acknowledge the severity of the situation in Xinjiang and understand the scale of the human rights violations taking place. The international community must move beyond mere condemnation and take concrete steps to hold the Chinese government accountable for its actions. This includes imposing sanctions on individuals and entities involved in the persecution of Uyghurs and demanding the closure of the re-education camps, where an estimated 1 million Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities are detained. Furthermore, it is essential to amplify the voices of Uyghurs who have experienced this oppression firsthand. Their stories, often shared at great personal risk, provide a harrowing glimpse into the realities of life under constant surveillance and fear. By listening to their testimonies and sharing their stories, we can raise awareness and galvanize support for the Uyghur cause. Standing up for human rights, taking action, and seeking justice. The plight of the Uyghurs is not just a matter of geopolitics, it is a fundamental human rights issue that demands a response from people of conscience around the world. Silence is not an option when faced with such egregious violations of human dignity and freedom. There are numerous ways individuals can make a difference. We can support human rights organizations working tirelessly to document the abuses in Xinjiang and advocate for the Uyghur people. We can contact our elected officials, urging them to take a stronger stance against China's actions. We can educate ourselves and others about the situation, using our voices to raise awareness on social media and in our communities. By taking action, we not only stand in solidarity with the Uyghur people, but also uphold the universal values of human rights and dignity. We send a message that such oppression will not be tolerated, and that we will continue to fight for justice, accountability, and an end to the suffering in Xinjiang. The fight for human rights is a collective responsibility, and every voice, every action, brings us one step closer to a more just and equitable world.